Everybody have a chance to take a look at the minutes?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, minutes moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Denny?
Yeah, the item on the agenda tonight is a public hearing for request by Creative Homes to amend the Heritage Greens Planned Residential Development from limited residential commercial per July 21st, 2008 amendment to be amended to 1 and 2 family residential. They're proposing 36 units, actually 8, be 38. The 8 one-family residents and 14 two-family residences, so it's 36. This proposal would reduce previously approved density from housing and improved commercial development for 132 units of multiple family to 164 elderly units, and remove commercial allowance up to 10,700 square feet. The area in question is outlots 4 and 6, plat of Heritage Market, City of Hudson, St. Croix County, Wisconsin. In regards to comments during the public hearing, if you can give your name and address, we appreciate it. But this time we open the public hearing up for public comment.
I'm Mike Kruger, and I'm at 17 Heritage Green, and I'm here to request that this be approved. Just some facts from the area. The West Central Wisconsin Comprehensive Plan indicates that at the last census, 75% of the dwellings in the 7-county area were single-family, and 18% were multifamily. 7% were mobile homes. The St. Croix County Comprehensive Plan indicates that 78% of the homes in the county are owner-occupied and 22% are rental units. The latest U.S. Census indicates that in Hudson, we have only 63.4% of our housing units that are owner-occupied. Our comprehensive plan, this is District 7, Southeast District for zoning. The primary land use is single-family residential and is guided for single-family residential and medium density. And under that, it says the policies are to encourage the preservation of low-density residential uses within this area. I think this meets all of those criteria and would encourage that it be approved.
Thanks, Mike. Anybody else?
Good evening. My name is Jim Bankston, and I live at 18 Heritage Green. I'm a neighbor with Mike. I've lived in that location, which is a twin home, for the last 2 years, and previous to that, I've spent 30 years in the township out on Badlands Road. The proposal was shown to us recently, and 3 of us here are board members on the Twin Home Association. And after reviewing that with Creative Homes and looking at their proposal, we found that the board was wanted to approve this change in the zoning, or what usage would be. What I found personally, since I've been there for 2 years, that these twin homes sell faster than they can go on the market. So it indicates to us that there is a real need for the retirement generation, the aging baby boomers, are looking for this type of residential area to move into, as well as smaller homes that they can maintain, and also have that less maintenance that they would have with a regular family home. The particular home that we moved into, we were looking at to buy it for 4 years. It took 4 years for it to go on the market, and we were the first one at the door and made an offer that they couldn't refuse, and they sold it to us. There were several after us that tried to buy it also, and of course, we had already had a signed agreement. In this last year, there's been 12 new twin homes built in the area. They were all sold before they had finished construction. And in the older section where we're at, there's been 4 homes that were up for sale this past summer. One sold in less than 24 hours. One sold before it even went on the market. One sold in about a week. And one was sold by just putting a note in the Twin Homes Facebook page, or actually the Heritage Green Association page, says, "Make me sell my home." And someone made him an offer that he couldn't refuse, and he eventually sold to that person. So there's a market there. We continually see people stopping by and asking, do you know of any of these twin homes that are for sale or will be going for sale? And people that come over are always asking about that also. So I would like to go on record as being in favor of the proposed change. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Mike James. I'm at 20 Heritage Green, and I've been there for about 9 years now, and have been in this room before when they were looking to make it into a village-type situation. At that time, I think an apartment building would have been nice, to having that village effect, with little stores and a coffee shop. And now with the change in the market and the demand for the housing, I think this is a perfect fit and a perfect change into that whole development. Like I said, I've been there, 9 years now, and the second owners of the original paired homes. And, footnote what Mike and Jim have said, these homes sell fast. People are always stopping by asking. And Creative has sat down with us and, showed us what they have to offer. We've given them some input. They've made, some changes that we've requested, and I'd just like to, along with Jim and the other Mike, say that I'm in favor of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Good evening. Russell Nicolay. I was here last time there was a plan proposed. I'm a member of the ARC, and this time a little bit different situation. I am, just to summarize, I'm sure I didn't hear everything because I got here late, but I'm in favor of the plan. I think we've had a lot of luck with Creative Homes. They've been very helpful in working with us. We've butted heads on things here and there, and we haven't agreed on everything, but we've usually come to a resolution, and they've been willing to work with us, listen, even schedule hearings, meetings to talk about these things. So I'm in favor. I personally would like to see more single family, but I know that the city wants to see some multifamily, and that's one of the last areas to do it. And so I think this is a good way to buffer the new single family homes with another row on the outside of the single family, and then get some more multifamily in the middle, so it meets the best of both worlds. So I'm in favor of the plan. Jody's not here tonight. She's one of the other ARC members, and I think she's in agreement as well. So that's just the brief from us as the ARC of Heritage Greens. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just for clarification, ARC means the Architecture Review Committee, so.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, public hearing, public comments closed. Denny?
The motion closed.
Move to close the public hearing?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is closed. Denny?
At the last time we considered this area, back in May 26 of 2016, Plan Commission recommended denying the change to 1 and 2 family. The application was withdrawn prior to it getting to the Common Council. At that time, I expressed some concern that this is some of our last multiple family property, consistent with my discussion last time, I was not opposed to the 1 and 2 family, but I want to make sure the Plan Commission realizes if they change the land use designations for these 2 parcels, that we essentially are out the multiple family property in the city of Hudson. So with that light, I'm not opposed to changing it, but understand that's a consequence of a potential change in this planned residential development. If, I don't know if somebody wants to put a motion on the floor and then have discussions, or how you want to handle it.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
So
Second.
moved.
Move to approve
Approve.
yeah.
Motion second,
Yeah.
discussion.
Well, one of the things you learn when is for public hearing, you don't make a recommendation prior to the public hearing being held. So I assume there may be a consideration for approval of this. Here's a brief review of the issues. Mark, do you want a copy? Essentially, again, this particular proposal, they're proposing 14 two-family dwellings. So there's 28 units there, and there's 8 single-family or one-family residential dwellings. And that's density is quite a bit less than what would be permitted under the current planned residential development conditional use permit, where they would have been allowed to have approximately 132 multiple family dwelling units. Now, in their proposal, they did not, Creative Homes did not submit proposed dimensional setbacks, but I would suggest the minimum front yard setback be 15 feet from the property line to the building, which is what single family is in Heritage Greens, 20 feet to the garage, minimum garage yard setback, minimum side yard setback from the side yard to the garage 5 feet, and typically the opposite side of the house, again, be 5 feet from the house side yard setback. Minimum house or garage side yard setback on private or public streets in the area where the two-family residential structures or twin homes, as some people call them. The side yard setback would be 10 feet. Minimum rear yard setback, 25 feet for one-family lots and outlot 4, which is the area on the east side of the development, and 0 setback for two-family lots. Minimum rear yard setback for the single-family lots, and outlot 6 would be, or outlot 4, excuse me, should be outlot 4, is 35 feet, and maximum building height is 35 feet. Now, in the site plan, there's a couple of parcels where, particularly in the northeast corner of the two-family, the front yard setbacks are really pushing that 15-foot setback. That's something that has to be considered. We just need to set a minimum standard for them to follow. And, I don't want to be coming in and reacting to the site plan later on where we've got a mishmash of setback considerations. Something that will be done, they will need to come back for a subdivision review later on. We'll look at some of the issues in regards to stormwater, sanitary sewer, water utilities. However, there is a private driveway between the two-family residential, that would be access easement for those various parcels. Depending on the depth of the sanitary sewer and water, it's required to get access. We may have to have a 30-foot easement, but again, that'd be a sanitary, or it'd be a subdivision consideration. If you go to the second page, there is 3 handouts that were developed during the July 2008. There's some amendments that need to be made. They're really minor, and it's just a matter of keeping track of what's permitted and not permitted in this planned residential development. So if the developer calls up, essentially this is really going to be about the last phase of this development. So we'll be buttoning that up. But this, what you see in the yellow highlights is the changes to those 3 different items. Probably before this goes to council for consideration, I would put this in a chart and clean it up so that as Creative Homes goes in the future, then we have a chart that, so I'm recommending, I'm recommending approval of this with these changes per se, and that would be incorporated into the motion going to the common council. Another consideration would be is a 2009 City of Hudson Comprehensive Plan. Land use designations would be amended from the neighborhood commercial and medium density residential to 1 and 2 family residential. That public hearing would be held by the common council in the future. So. Any questions?
No, but I move we recommend the approval with the items that you have noted, items 1, 2, and 3. And do you want anything else on that?
No, that's,
Okay.
Second degrees.
Okay. Discussion? Clarification, Denny, on the comprehensive plan, given that we're gonna be redoing that here pretty soon, do we still need to amend the current one?
well, what we have to be careful of is that the comprehensive plan and zoning land use designations are consistent according to Wisconsin law, so I prefer to do that sooner than later. But that's, we would probably tie that in at the same time that there's subdivision reviews that come in, so. And also, I'd like to go back, and one of the approvals of the conditional use permit would be, is the subdivision review and approvals. That'd be a condition of the approval of the conditional use permit. Is that okay
Yeah,
with you,
I agree.
Randy?
Mm-hmm.
Discussion? All right. All
Mark,
those-
do you have any questions or concerns? You can- Yeah. This is Mark Gunther with Creative Homes.
Thanks, Danny. Yeah, Mark Genther with Creative Homes. Just the one comment on these is that one of the common uses that the residents of the paired homes like to use is we have the patios on the sides. So when we're talking about setbacks, you know, we still want to maintain a minimum of 10 feet in between them, but we'd like to have one of the side yard setbacks at 0 and the other one at 10, if that makes sense.
That's fine, as long as we have a 10-foot separation
Yes,
between physical building.
that'll be the minimum, that's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody good? All in
Thank you.
favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Anybody have anything to bring up for the future meetings and comments?
The next meeting is Tuesday, November 22nd. That is deer hunting season, deer hunting week. So I don't know if you're not going to be in town on that week. Please let me know as soon as possible. I thought we were going to have a public hearing scheduled for that evening. I think that we have found a way of not requiring the conditional use permit as the staff is. I don't think we're going to have to. So that date is tentative. I realize it's in, plus that's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, so some people may be traveling. I'll send out an email just letting everybody know that, and if you can respond where you're available that evening or not, I'd appreciate it.
Any word on DOT and the overpass, 11th Street?
I'm not, Randy. I thought of that this afternoon, but I will.
Okay.
I need to check with them on the speed limit issue down on 2nd Street too. So. Thanks for reminding me.
Okay, anything else? Motion?
Move to adjourn. Second.
Motion second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We stand adjourned. Thanks, everybody.